The great warship Xyraxis drifted silently in orbit around the pale blue planet. Its hull was a vast, gleaming expanse of steel and dark alloys, humming softly with latent power. Inside the cold metallic halls, the Nexar High Council gathered. The air was thick with tension, a mix of anticipation and disdain. Commander Vron stood before the holomap of Earth, his many eyes flickering with contempt, his long, muscular arms folded as he surveyed the tiny human fleets blinking on the display. "Look at them!" Vron sneered, voice low and sharp. "A handful of fragile ships." "Their engines barely keep pace with our drones. Their weapons lack punch. This species is weak, primitive even." Around the chamber, council members nodded, some clicking their mandibles in agreement. From the shadows, the Noran diplomats whispered among themselves. Their sleek, insectoid bodies shimmered with iridescent colors, antennae twitching in impatience. One Noran delegate, her voice cold and smooth, cut through the murmurs. "Humans?" she said with a dismissive hiss. "They are too emotional. Too unpredictable. Their history reeks of chaos and failure." "They lack the discipline for true war." Vron's mandibles clicked sharply. "Exactly. They will break under pressure. We need only strike fast. A swift attack. Force their surrender. Earth will be ours before their fighters can mount a proper defense." The council chamber fell silent. The Nexar elders debated the strategy in clipped phrases. Some urged caution, but most favored overwhelming force. "Why waste time?" Vron demanded. "Their fleets are pitiful, their soldiers untrained and scattered. Their technology is outdated." The holomap zoomed closer, revealing human ships clustered near Earth's orbit. Fleeting images from surveillance cameras flickered, small, nimble vessels with chipped hulls and flickering shields. Human soldiers moved with hurried, uneven steps inside their cramped ships. A junior Nexar officer reported, "Our sensors detect no advanced defense systems. Their planetary shields are weak." "They lack fleet cohesion." The Noran delegate sniffed. "They remind me of insects caught in a storm, panicked, desperate, but ultimately doomed." Vron laughed, a deep, rumbling sound. "Doomed indeed. Their stubbornness will only hasten their fall." Yet, as the council's eyes returned to the images, a quiet unease stirred beneath their confidence. The humans moved with strange determination. Their ships, though small, darted with surprising speed. The soldiers' faces, shadowed on screen, showed fierce resolve, but the council dismissed it. To them, it was just fear, the last flicker of hope before collapse. "We will deliver the final blow at dawn," Vron declared. "Prepare the strike teams. They will beg for peace once they understand the power we wield." The Noran diplomat inclined her head. "Let them plead. We shall grant them no mercy." Outside the chamber, the Xyraxis thrummed. Its weapons charged silently, waiting. The Nexar and Noran leaders believed this war would be swift. They thought humans would crumble like all others before them. They did not know. They did not understand why humans chose pain over peace. And they had no idea what horrors awaited them when the humans refused to surrender. As the Nexar studied the humans, they uncovered old tales hidden in ancient records, warnings that spoke of a fierce spirit no enemy could break. In the depths of the Xyraxis, vast archives glowed with dim blue light. Stone-like crystals floated in mid-air, projecting ghostly images of battles long past. Nexar scholars leaned close to the flickering holograms, their eyes narrowing. "These records come from the elder races," said Commander Vron, voice low and cautious. "They warn us about human nature." A hologram shimmered, showing a rugged, burning world, a planet scarred by endless war, yet never conquered. "The humans," the archive intoned in a deep voice, "choose the pain of battle over the ease of submission. They suffer, endure, and rise again." Noran diplomat Skrell hissed in contempt. "Old myths, sentimental nonsense. They are weak, fragile." "They break easily." "But the elder races spoke from experience," argued Vron. "They faced humans before, long ago. The humans defied all reason and logic. They choose suffering instead of surrender." The hologram shifted to show human warriors running through fire, their faces bloodied but determined. Another scene revealed humans rebuilding cities under attack, refusing to give ground. Captain Malik Hassan's voice echoed in Vron's mind, the fierce determination that no machine or weapon could destroy a human will. Humans fight smarter, the record said. Their minds adapt. Their pain sharpens their resolve. They are unpredictable. A Nexar historian stepped forward, adjusting her lenses. The elders warned us. To expect humans to accept peace on their terms is folly. They will never bow willingly. Skrell snorted. If they are so tough, why have they not conquered their own planet? They are disorganized, emotional. Their fight is chaos. Vron's eyes hardened. Because their fight is not just for power, it is for freedom. They reject control even if it means pain, death, endless struggle. The archivist's voice softened as she activated a final projection. A sequence of human leaders from ancient times to modern spoke fiercely to their people. One phrase repeated, "Better to die standing than live kneeling." Vron touched the holo-map of Earth. "We must test them. Send a probe fleet. See if their stubbornness is real." Skrell shot a glare. "A waste of resources. They will break. They always do. But if we misjudge them," Vron paused, "if they choose pain over peace, we face a war unlike any other." The council fell silent. The ancient warnings weighed heavily. "Prepare the reconnaissance mission," Vron ordered. "We will learn what makes humans so strange and dangerous." As the Nexar moved to obey, the archives dimmed. The ghosts of elder races whispered their warnings one last time. "Do not expect surrender. Expect endurance. Expect fury." In the distant corridors of the Zyraxis, a single glowing data crystal pulsed, echoing the heartbeat of a stubborn species, the humans, and the universe was about to remember why. But while the Nexar studied their ancient warnings, far away, Colonel Delgado and Captain Hassan prepared to show what humans are truly made of. Inside the UESN Sovereign's bridge, the air buzzed with quiet determination. Blue and green panels blinked softly, casting pale light over the faces of the crew. Above Earth, the fragile blue marble spun slowly against the black void. Colonel Rafael Delgado stood tall, his eyes fixed on the viewport. He was a man shaped by war, scarred but unbroken. His voice was calm but carried weight. "We've survived worse," Delgado said, his gaze unwavering. "Famine, disease, endless wars on our own planet. They think we're fragile. They don't know what pain means to us." Beside him, Captain Malik Hassan ran his fingers along the controls of the UESN Avalanche. His ship was smaller but faster, designed for quick strikes and sharp maneuvers. Hassan's dark eyes gleamed with a mix of pride and challenge. "They believe our fleets are weak," Hassan said. "Fragile ships, slow tactics. They expect us to break and surrender." Delgado smiled, a flash of steel beneath calm. "Let them think that. Underestimate us. They'll learn the hard way." Elsewhere on the Sovereign, Captain Kenji Yamamoto prepared the UESN Phoenix for launch. His crew trained in zero gravity, their movements fluid but sharp. Sweat beaded on foreheads, muscles strained with purpose. "Pain is just another enemy," Yamamoto told his soldiers. "We choose to face it, not run from it." The soldiers nodded, their faces set with fierce resolve. In the training bays, human warriors moved with precision, grappling in mid-air, adapting quickly to shifting weightlessness. They practiced tactics no alien navy had ever seen. "Unpredictability is our weapon," Hassan said, watching a squad spin and strike from unexpected angles. "We don't fight like machines, we fight like humans." Delgado tapped a console, bringing up a holographic map of the solar system. Small dots marked outposts, patrol routes, and fleet positions. "Our defenses aren't the biggest," Delgado said, "but every ship, every soldier is ready to bleed before they bow." He turned to Hassan. "They expect surrender because we've done it before, but not now, not this time." Hassan nodded. "We've learned. They don't know what endurance means. Yet." A sharp beep cut through the quiet. An alert flashed. Alien fleet detected near Mars orbital station. Delgado's fist clenched. "They're coming." The crew sprang into action. Alarms echoed. Lights flickered. Soldiers armed weapons. Ships powered up systems. On the bridge, Delgado looked at Earth once more, the planet glowing with fragile beauty. "This is our home," he said softly. "We fight for every inch, every breath." Hassan grinned. "Let them see what happens when humans choose pain over peace." Delgado's voice rose, steady and fierce. "We don't surrender! We don't yield!" The Sovereign's engines rumbled, ready to launch into battle. Pain wasn't the end of the fight. It was the beginning, and humanity would never stop fighting. Just as Colonel Delgado steadied his breath, the sky tore open with streaks of alien fire, Nexar ships swarming in, ready to strike. The cold silence of space shattered. Bright plasma bolts arced toward Earth's orbiting defenses. The massive warship Xyraxis led the charge, its engines thrumming with deadly purpose. "Brace for impact!" Delgado shouted from the bridge of the UESN Sovereign. Sensors screamed warnings. Explosions bloomed around the fleet like deadly fireworks. Small human ships shuddered under the alien barrage. The Sovereign shivered as a plasma bolt slammed into its forward shields. "Shields at 40%, called Lieutenant Mara. Her voice was steady but urgent. Delgado gritted his teeth. "Evasive maneuvers, full power to engines. Don't give them an easy shot." Captain Malik Hassan's voice crackled through the calm but tense. "Avalanche taking heavy fire, Delgado. Shields failing fast." The UESN Avalanche rocked violently. Alien's plasma bolts hammered its hull. Hassan's ship was smaller, less armored than the Nexar dreadnoughts. But Hassan didn't flinch. "Hold formation," he ordered. "We're buying time for the Phoenix to cover our retreat." Captain Kenji Yamamoto's voice joined the fray, sharp and focused. Phoenix engaging enemy flank, targeting their weapon arrays. But the aliens were relentless. The Nexar and Norin fleets moved with practiced precision. Their ships danced through the starfield, coordinated strikes crippling human defenses. "Fire from starboard," Delgado shouted, twisting the controls. The Sovereign twisted away, narrowly avoiding a swarm of plasma bolts that tore past where the bridge had been seconds before. Debris floated silently in the void. A smaller human frigate exploded, fragments drifting like deadly snowflakes. The human, smaller, slower ships lacked the raw power and speed of their enemies. The Nexar commander's voice dripped with contempt over intercepted channels. "Pitiful humans. They bleed like children under pressure." Norin officers hissed their agreement. "They will break soon." Their spirits are fragile. But on the Sovereign, Delgado refused to surrender. No surrender. Not now. Not ever. Suddenly, the Avalanche shuddered violently. Hassan's voice was tight. "Hull breach, starboard side. We're losing pressure. Divert power to thrusters. Get out of that kill zone," Delgado commanded. Yamamoto added, "Impin down here. Phoenix shields at 20%. They're focusing fire." A flash of alien plasma tore through the Phoenix shields, sending a shockwave through the Phoenix shields, sending a shockwave through the ship. "Hang on, Kenji," Delgado said under his breath. "Recon gaze, recon gaze, recon," Delgado commanded. Yamamoto added, "Impin down here." The alien fleets closed in faster, confident their superior firepower would crush the humans quickly. "Prepare boarding teams," the Nexar captain growled. "They won't last the hour." But the humans stayed silent on surrender. Their eyes burned with defiance despite the pounding on their ships. Delgado tightened his grip on the console. "We're outgunned, but not outwilled." As another wave of plasma bolts tore through the Sovereign's port shields, alarms blared, hull integrity dropping. "We have multiple system failures." Mara's voice was steady, but strain clung to it. "We keep fighting," Delgado said simply. "Their underestimation will be their undoing." Outside, stars seemed to blur as the fight raged on, a furious storm of fire and steel. The aliens saw weakness. They believed surrender would come soon. But humans only clenched their fists tighter. Pain was coming, and they were ready. As the Nexar ships unleashed their assault, Colonel Delgado's voice cut through the chaos, revealing a human secret that no alien could have predicted. "Activate pain protocol," Delgado ordered, his voice sharp and steady. The command echoed through the UESN Sovereign's corridors and into the battle stations of every human ship. Inside the Sovereign, close to the bridge, soldiers strapped on sleek neural implants. These tiny devices pulsed softly beneath their skin. The implants flooded their brains with endorphins and adrenaline, tuning their nerves to a new level of pain tolerance. Delgado's eyes narrowed. Pain no longer meant defeat. It meant strength. On the bridge, Captain Malik Hassan of the UESN Avalanche grinned as he felt the familiar surge. "They think they've broken us," Hassan said over the comms. "They don't know we can fight through anything." Across the fleet, the ships began to shimmer with a faint blue energy. Human engineers had developed adaptive energy fields. These fields repaired hull breaches almost instantly. Systems flickered but never failed for long. In one control room, technician Rena Lopez worked quickly. "Hull integrity down to 30%, she shouted, reinforcing with nanoparticles. Now! Outside, plasma bolts smashed into the avalanche. Sparks flew, but the ship groaned instead of shattering. Delgado's voice came again. "Focus on unpredictability. Hit and run. Keep them off balance." Hassan's tactical screens lit up. "Understood, Colonel. Initiating evasive maneuvers." The avalanche twisted through the starfield, darting behind debris fields and asteroid belts. Nexar targeting arrays scrambled, trying to track the sudden moves. Meanwhile, Captain Kenji Yamamoto on the UESN Phoenix was hacking alien systems. His fingers flew across the console. "They're too wired into rigid protocols," Yamamoto muttered. "I just need a little chaos." His screen flooded with alien code. He injected false signals, confusing enemy sensors. Alien ships fired on empty space. Back on the Sovereign, Delgado stood firm. "The neural synapse enhancers do more than reduce pain," he explained to his officers. "They speed up reflexes and improve decision-making under stress." "You mean we think faster when it hurts?" Lieutenant Vega asked, disbelief in her voice. Delgado nodded. "Exactly. Pain sharpens us. It doesn't stop us." In the Nexar fleet, commanders stared at their holoscreens in horror. Ships they expected to destroy held formation, dodged, and counterattacked. Noran Admiral Skrell hissed, "Their resilience is unnatural." "Their ships are smaller, yet they absorb damage like we have shields twice their strength." Another Nexar officer whispered, "How can they endure such punishment?" Delgado's voice cut through again, calm and commanding. "They call us weak, unpredictable, but we have a secret." He turned toward his crew. "Pain. Protocol is not just tech, it's our choice. We choose to bear the pain instead of surrender. We choose to fight when others would fall." A young soldier limped past, blood dripping from a cut on his forehead. He saluted Delgado without hesitation. "That's human will," Delgado said, voice low but fierce. "We turn pain into power." Suddenly, the avalanche launched a swift counterattack. Hassan's ships struck with speed no alien fleet expected. They hit weak points, then vanished before enemy fire could respond. Yamamoto's hacking cut into the Nexar's targeting grid, causing chaos in their ranks. Delgado smiled grimly. "Let them see what happens when humans refuse to quit." Alien communications crackled with alarm. "They are not retreating," a Nexar officer reported. "They adapt. They endure." "Impossible," Skrell spat. "No species can withstand this level of damage." Delgado's tone grew louder. "This was our secret all along. The neural enhancers give us endurance, but the real strength is our spirit." He looked out the viewport at the stars streaking past. "We do not surrender. We do not bow. We fight through pain because freedom is worth every scar." Back on the Sovereign, engineers patched systems while soldiers prepared for boarding actions. The fleet moved as one, fast, fierce, and unyielding. The aliens scrambled their forces, but it was too late. The humans had found their edge, their refusal to break under pain. Captain Hassan's voice was steady. "The longer we hold, the more they lose confidence." Delgado nodded. "That's the plan. Make them question their victory." The Nexar and Noran fleets stared in disbelief as human ships turned the tide, not through overwhelming firepower, but through sheer endurance and will. Delgado's last words before the next assault echoed through the fleet. "They don't understand. Pain is our shield. Peace without freedom is no peace at all." And with that, humanity's secret was no longer hidden. They were a warrior race forged by struggle. Pain was not their enemy, it was their weapon. As the Nexar struggled to understand, Colonel Delgado's voice cut through the silence, steady and unyielding, ready to reveal the truth behind humanity's fierce choice. "Is this what you expected?" Delgado's voice echoed across the enemy channels. "You saw our ships, fragile and few. You thought we would crumble, but here we stand, not broken, not bowed. We choose pain over peace. Every scar, every loss, every wound, it fuels us." He paused, letting the weight of his words sink deep into the alien minds. The cold, clinical halls of the Zyraxis vibrated with tension. Nexar and Noran officers exchanged uncertain glances. They had never heard defiance like this. You want us to surrender, Delgado continued, voice rising with fierce pride. You want us to bow, to kneel, to give up our freedom for your peace. But peace without freedom is a cage. We will not live in cages. We are not here to beg for mercy. We are here to fight, to endure, to win. His words burned through space like a comet blazing across the dark. Human crews aboard the battered UESN Sovereign and Avalanche listened, inspired. Captain Malik Hassan gripped the console, eyes sharp. Delgado's speech was more than a broadcast. It was a promise. For thousands of years, our ancestors rose from ashes, from ruined cities, from broken bones. They chose pain. They chose battle. And every time they grew stronger. You think our spirits can be crushed? Our wills bent? You are wrong. Delgado's voice softened, but no less deadly. We fight because we love this world, because we cherish our families, our dreams, our freedom. Behind him, stars streamed past the viewport, silent witnesses to the human will. We do not fear pain. It is our shield. It is the fire that tempers our souls. His gaze hardened. To the Nexar, to the Norin, hear this well. This war will not end with our surrender. It will end with your respect, earned in battle by blood and sweat. The aliens, a species that prided themselves on logic and cold calculation, felt something alien in Delgado's words. Confusion, fear. A crack in their certainty. You believed us weak, Delgado said, voice ringing like a war drum. But weakness is in surrender. Strength is in standing tall, even when broken. He raised his fist, silhouetted against the flickering lights of the command deck. Give us your worst. We will endure. A burst of static crackled over the channel. Nexar Commander Vron's voice came through, sharp but shaken. Your resolve is unexpected. Good, Delgado replied, voice fierce. Then prepare yourself, because humanity fights for every breath, for every inch of this universe. Captain Hassan stepped forward beside Delgado, adding, You will learn this soon enough. Pain is not our weakness. It is our weapon. The broadcast ended. Silence fell again, but now the silence was different, heavy, charged. Across the alien fleets, whispers spread. Humans choose pain over peace. They refuse to surrender. They fight like nothing we have ever faced. Delgado turned from the console, eyes blazing with quiet fire. This is only the beginning. Behind him, human crews tightened their grips, ready for the war ahead, ready to show the galaxy why humanity never bows, why humans endure pain, not fear it, why they choose the hard path, because freedom, no matter the cost, is the only peace worth having. As Colonel Delgado's words echoed with fierce resolve, the Nexar and Norin forces hesitated, unsure how to respond to a people who chose pain over peace. In that moment of doubt, the tide of battle began to turn. Captain Malik Hassan watched the enemy fleet falter from the UESN Avalanche's bridge. The Nexar warships, once confident and rigid, now wavered, their formations breaking. Hassan gritted his teeth. They've never seen humans like this before, he muttered. Sir, his communications officer reported, our neural enhancers are keeping the crews sharp. Injuries aren't slowing anyone down. Hassan smiled grimly. Good. Keep it steady. It's time. With a sharp command, Hassan ordered the fleet into a new formation, tight, unpredictable, and fast. The human ships darted like swarms of aggressive hornets, weaving between alien fire. Their smaller size made them harder targets. Bring the feint attack online, Hassan barked. Lure them close. The Nexar commanders, still reeling from Delgado's broadcast, tried to regroup. They sent out a squadron to flank the humans. Hassan anticipated this. Now, he ordered. Human ships split off, scattering in different directions. Suddenly, hidden human vessels jumped from stealth, surrounding the Nexar flanking squadron. Explosions blossomed like deadly fireworks. Alien ships erupted in bursts of fire and debris. The ambush was perfect. Meanwhile, Captain Kenji Yamamoto on the UESN Phoenix executed another critical strike. Using cyber warfare tactics, his team hacked into the Norin communication grid. Alien channels are dark, Yamamoto reported. They can't talk to each other. Exactly what we need, Delgado's voice crackled over comms. Keep them blind. The loss of communication crippled the alien coordination. Nexar and Norin ships collided, panicked and confused. Delgado prepared for his boldest move. "Boarding party ready," he said, eyes burning with determination. The Zyraxus loomed ahead, a massive warship, the nerve center of the alien fleet. It was heavily guarded, its hull layered with thick armor. But humans thrived in hardship. Using gravity grapples and magnetic clamps, Delgado and his team launched a daring boarding assault. The boarding pods slammed into the Zyraxus hull with thunderous impact. Explosive bolts tore through outer defenses. Inside, human soldiers moved like shadows. Neural enhancers dulled the pain of burns and bruises. Every step forward was a strike against alien hubris. Delgado shouted to his squad, "Push forward! Take their command deck!" The aliens inside scrambled, surprised by the ferocity of the humans. Nexar officers called for reinforcements, but the communication blackout slowed the response. On the bridge of the Zyraxus, Nexar Commander Vron's face twisted in disbelief. How do they endure this? Why won't they quit? His second-in-command hissed, "Their biology, it's unnatural. They resist pain like it's a weapon." Vron slammed his fist on the console. "Order a full retreat. We've underestimated them." But it was too late. Outside, human ships pressed the attack. Captain Hassan's fleet surrounded the alien main force, cutting off escape routes. Explosions tore through Nexar cruisers. Norin fighters were shot down in flames. Alien morale shattered. Back on the Zyraxus, Delgado's team secured the command deck. He stood tall, scanning the alien control panels. "Tell your commanders this war isn't over," Delgado said into the comms. "We fight for every inch, every breath." The message sent a shiver through the enemy ranks. Across the battlefield, Nexar and Norin ships turned tail, fleeing the relentless human assault. Captain Hassan's voice came over the channel, calm and steady. "They're breaking. Keep the pressure." No mercy. The human fleet surged forward, driving the aliens back. Delgado allowed himself a brief smile. The humans were winning. "We don't surrender," Delgado said quietly, "because we never have. Because peace without freedom is no peace at all." As the alien forces retreated, the human fleet held the line, battered but unbroken. The tide had turned. Humanity's choice to endure pain and fight shattered the alien illusion of easy conquest. And in the cold silence of space, one truth echoed louder than weapons fire. Humans were made for war, born to resist and destined to triumph. As the Nexar faltered, Colonel Delgado's voice rang out, steady and fierce. This was their moment to push forward, not back. The war was far from over, but now hope burned brighter than ever. The alien fleets, once confident and crushing, now scrambled in chaos. Ships that had seemed invincible faltered under the human counterattack. The great warship Zyraxus shuddered where Delgado's boarding party tore through its defenses. Outside, Captain Malik Hassan's avalanche danced through enemy fire like a ghost, striking hard and vanishing before enemies could respond. "Hold the line! Press the advantage," Delgado commanded, voice calm but urgent over the comms. The bridge of the UESN Sovereign buzzed with energy. Lights blinked red and orange, but the crew moved with a fierce determination. Each hit they took was met with faster repairs and sharper tactics. The pain protocol had pushed them beyond normal limits, and now they fought with something the Nexar and Norin could not understand: unbreakable will. Through the viewport, Earth's blue glow shone like a beacon, fragile yet unyielding. Hassan's voice crackled in Delgado's ear. "The Nexar rear guard is retreating. They're trying to regroup near the asteroid belt. I'm going to cut off their path." "Good. Don't let them breathe," Delgado replied. On the avalanche, Hassan's fingers flew over controls. His ship dodged plasma bursts with impossible agility. "They expected us to break. They thought pain would make us surrender. They forgot who we are." "We never surrender," Delgado said quietly, almost to himself. The Nexar flagship's ancient hull creaked under the pressure of human boarding teams. Delgado led his squad through corridors stained with alien blood and sparks. The Nexar commanders could only watch in disbelief as the humans fought like cornered wolves, striking with savage precision. In the alien command chamber, Nexar Commander Vron's antennae twitched nervously. How can these humans endure so much?" A Norran diplomat hissed. It's their madness, their stubbornness. They choose pain over peace as if it gives them strength. You wanted quick surrender. We gave you pain. We are not your prey. We are the shield that will never break. The alien fleet faltered. Confusion spread faster than their lasers. Orders came in conflicting bursts, and the once united front fractured. Back on the UESN Sovereign, Delgado's eyes burned with the fire of a man who had seen too much pain to fear it. This victory is ours, but it's only the beginning. The galaxy will learn that humanity is not a species to be crushed or bargained with. Captain Hassan joined him on the bridge, nodding grimly. They'll come back. Bigger fleets, deadlier weapons, but they'll never find us weak again. Let them come, Delgado said. Pain is our shield. Peace without freedom is no peace at all. We fight on our terms. The crew gathered on the deck to honor their fallen comrades. Silent prayers, tight fists, and a shared resolve forged in fire. Earth awaited. The blue marble spun gently in the vast dark, its people battered but unbeaten. News from the stars was clear. The Nexar and Norran retreated, bewildered and wary. Their reports spoke of humans who absorbed wounds like armor and smiled through the agony. Aliens who had conquered worlds now feared the species that chose pain over peace. Delgado stared out at the endless night beyond the ship's windows. This war showed them who we are, but it also showed us what we must become. He turned to his commanders. Prepare for what's next. The galaxy will test us again, and we will be ready. We carry not just guns and ships, but a spirit no enemy can break. Captain Hassan clenched his jaw. For Earth, for humanity, for freedom, Delgado agreed. The stars blinked coldly, indifferent to war and peace, but humanity burned bright.